So to prepare for this vlog, I decided to take a look at some of the old stuff we did, and it was interesting. Really made me think things like, what was it all about? Why vlog? Why the vlogging? Why the need to do it? And while, like Peter, looking at old videos makes me kind of nauseous, I also get kind of sad when I look at them. I think it made me sad because I felt like I was looking at somebody who was desperate to have something to say, but had nothing, so he did nothing but put it through form and process and rigmarole. I remember all the conversations we used to have about the theory of vlogging, like it actually mattered, when in the end I realized that vlogging is honestly more kind of human, akin to a kind of poetry, a performance art, a kind of human interaction, which I always had an inkling of, but I never quite caught it. And I think I was searching for that whole time when I was a kid, but I never really got it. And, 2 years ago, I'm calling myself a kid. But enough of that. Let's take a bit to talk about what's happened to me. Number 1, I stopped vlogging. Number 2, I dropped out of school. Number 3, I went and tried to help start a startup company doing videography for them, but that didn't really work out so well. So number 4, I moved back in with my mom for a couple months. And number 5, now I'm living in Austin, Texas, working as a web developer for White Line Interactive. For a period after I was recuperating from all of the startup shenanigans, I started getting into Tumblr a lot. Nowadays, I'm actually pretty well known around the Tumblr writing community as, well, I'm under a pseudonym and I'm not totally comfortable connecting my real name with it yet. But if you find me, well, you'll find a lot of poetry and other random crap. I've changed a lot in the past 2 years, and I'm not totally sure how to reconcile that with the Hayway or the personality I used to be, because I'm not even that person anymore, not whatsoever. I'm glad to see that Peter isn't a dick anymore, and I'm glad to see that Sarah calmed down a little bit. And I actually met up with Erica a couple months back too when I was working on that whole startup thing, and she seemed like she was doing really well. And Allie, I'm sorry I never got around to giving those friends of yours the encouragement that you had asked me to give them. That was right around the same time I was going through some personal stuff too, so, not really a good excuse, but I didn't forget that I fucked that up. But yeah, man, I mean, what was it all about? Looking through the old videos, I see a kid who's lost. I remember I really, really, really wanted to be Zay Frank. I even picked up a couple affectations, like this thing he does with his face when he talks. I picked that up. I picked up the way he speaks, that really uppity kind of voice, like this, and I actually found myself slipping into that when I started making this video. I realized I had a problem when I ran into him at VidCon, actually. He was walking towards me and I didn't expect it at all. I'd spent months idolizing about him and just thinking about meeting him, and I once sent him an email where I asked him just for advice about my own video blog and how I didn't want to cop his style and all that, and he told me one really good piece of advice: to be undeniable. I remember him talking something about building dragons out of leaves just because. And when I saw him there at VidCon walking towards me, just this tall man, he didn't see me, of course, he didn't know who I was, but I saw him and he looked at me like I was just another one of those crazy fans that I'm sure he's used to seeing, and I was kind of heartbroken. And I realized that I had a problem with idols, and that's something that cost me a good chunk of my life in the past 2 years as well. So I don't know, I've been learning a lot about myself, I guess. If I were to ever come back to vlogging full force, I don't know what would happen. I think I would actually have something to say, something to think about, something to talk about all the time, because, well, when you're 18, 19, there's just not really that much to say. You don't know anything, you haven't lived anything. And I realized that until you've gone through college or just a certain age, you're not really a real person. Not really. And I think I keep doing this thing with my eye, and I gotta cut that out. Anyways, I'm not really sure what else there is to say. I'm sorry it was so esoteric, personal, I guess? I don't know. But I'm looking forward to hearing from Erica tomorrow. Do you think I'll hate myself as much when I'm editing this? Oh, and I have cats now. They're cute, I guess.